While Americans feel financially strained, many corporations have been recording record-breaking profits, and that's partly due to tax breaks, which began in 2017. A new report from the Institute on Taxation and Economic Policy, or ITEP, finds these tax breaks saved nearly $67 billion for 25 of the corporations that have benefited the most, including household names like Google, Facebook, UPS, Target, and more. Joining us now with more details on this report is Matt Gardner. He is the senior fellow at ITEP. Matt, thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks for having me.
So, Matt, your report found that corporations have reaped huge benefits from the policy. Explain how this policy has enabled corporations to save massive amounts of money and exploit corporate tax loopholes.
Well, the first thing I'll say is the goal of this tax break is a good one. We want to encourage companies to engage in more capital investment, buy more machinery, more productive capacity. So what this thing does is bonus depreciation says when you buy machinery and equipment, you get to write off the whole cost of it immediately rather than doing what economics says you ought to, which is writing it off gradually over the course of the life of the machines, like 20 years. So it's a turbocharged tax break right up front anytime you make capital investments. And so for any company that makes things and needs functional machinery to make things, you're giving them a big tax cut up front, probably for doing what they were going to do anyway.
Yeah, so proponents of a policy like this would argue that cutting the corporate tax rate would, like you're saying, stimulate the economy, maybe help businesses expand, buy more material, and so on and so forth. But do those savings end up trickling down to consumers and employees? What are you seeing with this policy specifically?
Well, for some people, the big test was whether you'd see more capital investment, whether companies would actually change their behavior as a result of these things. A second question was, well, would you then see prices consumers pay go down? And on each of these things, it sure looks like the tax cut has not had the desired effect. The only clear outcome has been that really profitable companies have become even more so. They're not paying high tax rates. They're making, big profits, what some would call windfall profits. And those savings don't seem to be getting passed through either to consumers through lower prices or workers through increased employment. None of the things we wanted to see from this tax cut appear to be materializing.
So where is the money going then? You're saying that we're not seeing higher wages as a result of this policy. So who is reaping the benefits? Is it CEO pay increasing? Are the profits just flowing through to shareholders? What are you seeing?
Well, yeah, you just put your finger on it right there. I mean, the main beneficiary appears to be the shareholders of these companies, either through dividends or through stock buybacks, which we know have been a big trend ever since day one of this tax cut. And of course, this is a criticism that we heard and that folks like me were making even before the passage of the law. If you want to encourage more capital investment, you have to ask why you're not seeing it already. And we knew in 2017, these companies were already flush with cash, very profitable. If they wanted to hire more workers, if they wanted to create more productive capacity, they absolutely had the wherewithal to do it. They weren't doing it because it didn't make economic sense. So it's not at all surprising that we haven't seen the things we want to see as a result of this. The main benefits we've seen are big stock buybacks and larger dividends for the shareholders of the companies.
So
And these shareholders tend to be among the best off Americans.
how does the government get a handle on this? What types of policies need to be implemented so that this ends up benefiting the workers and consumers?
Well, I think we need to go back in time, if we can, 5 years ago, to when we were contemplating these tax cuts to begin with. In 2017, when the Trump administration said they wanted to cut the corporate tax rate, what would have been a smart thing to do would be, we had a 35% tax rate and nobody was paying it. We had all these tax breaks, which took effective tax rates way down closer to zero than the 35. The sensible thing would have been to start by getting rid of the tax breaks, get rid of the depreciation tax breaks that already existed instead of making them bigger, and then use some of that money to cut the corporate tax rate below 35%. What we did instead was to do all the easy stuff, cutting the corporate tax rate from 35 to 21, while making many of these tax breaks even bigger. And so now we're in a place where still, the 25 companies that benefited most from this, to the tune of $67 billion over the last 5 years, these companies are now paying 12% tax rate on average, which is basically a little more than half the 21% tax rate. So we're exactly where we were before. We need to be more skeptical about the claims these companies are making when they say they need these tax breaks, and just try to get to a place where whatever the sticker price is on our tax system, whatever the tax rate is, that's what companies are actually paying.
67 billion. It is just an eye-popping number. Matt Gardner, a senior fellow at the Institute on Taxation and Economic Policy. Matt, thank you so much for your time today. We appreciate it.